Mycelium can form elaborate structures and grow to incredible sizes. A mushroom forms when fungus weaves hyphae into a tight bundle and inflates these with a pulse of water. With these abilities, fungi have thrived on every continent. The Australian island of Tasmania is home to some of the most ancient rainforests. The Turkine is the second largest temperate rainforest on Earth, 5 times the size of New York City. It's the perfect hiding place for fungi, calling adventurers from around the world to discover new species and unravel their secrets.
Most fungi don't produce mushrooms, and even the fungi that do only produce them for a small moment in a year. Fungi have long enriched and enhanced life on this planet. But researchers think we've only described about 5% of all the fungal species on Earth. I want to better understand how they've survived for so long, and what lessons they might have for humanity as we wrestle with our most urgent problems.
Merlin's research has helped reveal an essential relationship between fungi and plants. Incredibly, over 90% of plants rely on fungi to survive.
From the earliest moments of their lives, plants use chemicals to signal to fungi in the soil, guiding them towards the roots, and even into them. A single plant can form relationships with hundreds of different fungi. By working with fungi, plants can gain greater access to nutrients for growth. In return, fungi receive food like sugars that plants produce, extending their reach far above the forest floor.
More than one tree can connect to a single fungus, forming shared networks, sometimes called the Wood Wide Web. Through these networks, resources can move between plants of different species throughout the forest. Older trees with the most connections act as central hubs, allowing younger plants to take root and thrive.
Fungi can teach us about the symbiotic way of life, about how all life is lived in relationships with other organisms. In this sense, life is collaboration. And collaboration is always a blend of cooperation and competition.
Fungi are one of the circulatory systems of the planet. If you were to stretch out all of the mycelium on Earth, it would span half of the width of the Milky Way galaxy. But perhaps the most overlooked superpower of fungi is their ability to recycle life through decomposition. Fungi are some of the only organisms capable of breaking down the complex chemistry of wood. Breaking down plant matter and releasing the nutrients back into the soil.
Connecting all life in the forest, from the smallest to the largest.
Forests exist thanks to the transformational powers of fungi. But fungi also offer world-changing opportunities for humanity. In the Yunnan province of China, new discoveries are showing how fungi might help address some of our biggest environmental challenges. These forests are home to over 6,000 species of mushroom, making Yunnan one of the most diverse fungal ecosystems on the planet. With such diversity, it makes sense that Yunnan is at the forefront of fungal research, led by biologists like Peter Mortimer and his team from the Kunming Institute of Botany.
We were collecting fungi in the forest, and we came across a piece of plastic, and it was full of fungus. So we seal it up, and we bring it back to the laboratory. Lo and behold, we got a whole range of fungi. 4 of those are new species to science. And even better, it turns out those 4 species are able to break down plastic. So under this microscope in the petri dish, we can see how the mycelium from the fungi is penetrating this plastic sheet, breaking it apart, and then actively digesting it. It just shows how rapidly fungi adapt and change to the environment. Plastic has only come into existence in the last, say, 100 years. Yet, fungi have the chemical arsenal to digest a range of plastics. If we can just find that one species that can be very efficient at breaking down the plastic, we can start doing it at scales where real-world problems start getting addressed.
Other fungi studied here have produced therapeutics used in organ transplants as well as treatments for cancer and epilepsy. The most famous fungal medicine, penicillin, has saved billions of lives by fighting bacterial infections. Under the microscope, you can see penicillin holding back bacterial growth.